What's up, Ranger fans? What a huge game last night. I am very happy I decided to do this video today. Yesterday was my wife's birthday, so things were a little hectic. Happy birthday, babe, I love you. So I held off on doing the video till today. I'm very happy I did. I get to talk about the win last night, which is huge. Before we get any further, welcome to episode number 2 of the Wednesday Wrap-Up edition, brought to you by yours truly, BroadwayBlueBleeder, here on my YouTube page. Today we're going to go over a couple games. We have 2 games against the Flyers to go over, and now 2 games against Washington to go over. Before we get any further, I just want to say a huge thank you to 2 for Roughing Designs on Facebook. You guys may notice I have a new logo here. It is an awesome logo. It's exactly what I wanted. The guy that made it's actually a good friend of mine. We play some men's league hockey in an adult league in town. He reached out to me, said that I needed an updated logo, which I totally agree with. And within a couple minutes, he came up with this idea. I threw him a couple ideas, put it all together, and we came out with the logo. It looks great. It looks awesome. Definitely go check him out. Like I said, you can find him on Facebook at 2 for Roughing Designs. Search him on Facebook. He's done tons of jerseys in the past for the team. They always come out looking great. So definitely go give him a like. Let him know I sent you. Let's start with the games. What I'm going to do today, we're just going to go over the games real quick, and then at the end we have some more in-depth talk to go over. Should be interesting. I'm sure this video might be a little controversial with the Rangers fan base. You'll find out why in a little bit. Let's start first with the 8-3 win against Philly. That was last week. Mika Zibanejad is on fire. Of course, this is exactly what we needed from him. This is exactly what this team needed at this time. They were slumping. Mika hadn't been doing anything, and all of a sudden, he's got 12 points against the Flyers in his last 2 games. Absolutely ridiculous. That is bonkers to score that many points in 2 games against the same team. I don't think it's ever been done before. 6 points, 2 straight games, back-to-back, regular season. Never been done. Mika's a god. We all know that. In the game, Adam Fox, Star Fox, as he's going to be known from now on. 5 assists, first time in Rangers history that 2 players had 5 or more points. Offense and defense, I believe, is the key stat there. Again, just absolutely incredible 2 games against the Flyers for these guys. AV's terrible. I think we all know that. I think it was absolutely hysterical that during intermission in that game, I cannot remember his name right now, and I don't know why. Steve Valiquette mentioned, the reason AV had so many wins and he's got his current coaching job with the Flyers because he basically rode Hank's career. You see once AV left, he hadn't been doing much, and even when he was here, it was Hank always bailing his system out. He's got tons and tons of wins as a head coach, but he's got nothing to show for it, and there's a reason for that. They looked bad. The Flyers just looked horrible this game. I had said earlier in the day I didn't think the Rangers were going to score 9 goals. Obviously, I was right, but I was off by a goal. I didn't think they were going to come out 8-3 and win that game. I really thought Philly would come out with some intensity, not integrity, they don't have that. Some intensity, some dirty, cheap hits, just get the Rangers riled up and get back on their own game, and they obviously didn't do that. And that's big for the Rangers. It was a big win. Igor's first game was that game back since injury. I believe he made 41 saves in the game. He looked great. He tested the groin out a lot. There was a lot of pipe-to-pipe, cross-crease type saves. He winced on some of them. He looked a little uncomfortable, but I think overall he did really good. I was really worried about the next game and him playing it again, but we'll get to that now. His next game was a 2-1 loss against Philly. Before we get into Igor's performance in that one and anything else, just want to say, does anybody else seem to notice that the Rangers just can't get up for an afternoon game? I'll come back to bite them in a minute. We'll get there. They just, all year, even last year, it's something about day games. The Rangers just don't play well in them, and I'm not sure what it is. Maybe they have to eat breakfast earlier. Maybe they should eat lunch before. I don't know. But day games are just bad. They looked completely outplayed. They scored a goal in the first, got outscored 2-0 from there on, got shut out, did absolutely nothing. Igor, I believe, had 35 saves that game. He looked good. It was a back-to-back game. He kept him in it for a while. Obviously, 2 goals, or 1 goal by the Rangers isn't going to be enough to win. Night in and night out. They have to find ways to score more than 1 goal in games where their offense isn't clicking. Something has to happen where they can get another goal or 2. Whether it be the power play, a penalty kill, shorthanded goal, something along those lines. But when the Rangers are struggling on offense, they get 1 or no goals. And something has to change with that if they want to make a push. We'll get to that again. In this game, Mika scored again. That's 15 points against the Flyers this year alone. I believe he's 3 or 4 points away from the record against most points against one team in a single season. I believe the record holder is Mario Lemieux. Do not quote me on that. I could be wrong, but I know he's close. Let's see here. Fox had another assist, of course. He was the player of the week for March of this past week. 110% deserved it. I believe I saw a graphic yesterday that said he is the 8th defenseman to win that award since it was being given out starting 2006, 2007, and he's the first Rangers defenseman to get it. Kid's otherworldly. I don't understand how he has no consideration for the Norris Trophy. I don't get it. Sorry about that. Norris Trophy consideration, he's got none. There was an article that came out yesterday from NHL.com writers. I believe first place was Drew Doughty. Second place, I don't even know, but it wasn't Adam Fox, so it's absolutely ridiculous, especially because Doughty's in first. Victor Hedman probably is going to be getting this, but it should be Adam Fox in consideration. I don't know why he's not. I don't know why he's so undervalued across the league right now. Hopefully this is going to start his recognition of being one of the top, I'd say top 10 defensemen in the NHL right now. If you don't agree, put it in the comments, let me know why. We can discuss it. I still think he is. We'll see. Again, Igor made some good saves, kept the Rangers in it to the end. Unfortunately, they lost. This was the last game coached by Knobloch, so I knew the next game, Sunday, which we're going to get into against the Capitals, was going to be rather split down the middle with Ranger fans. A lot of Ranger fans out there believe Knobloch's the reason they were winning. A lot of fans say Quinn they don't play for. Whatever reason that is, it's absurd. We'll get to that at the end again. We'll get there, I promise. Next game was another day game. Again, they looked sluggish, very, very sluggish. It was the second game in 23 hours that they played. A lot of people were wondering if it was going to be Georgiev who was going to start this game or Kincaid. A lot of people thought Georgiev should start. He's been looking better in his last few games, and we need to get him back on track. He's definitely our goalie number 2. I don't think we're going to expose him to Seattle. That would be ridiculous because he's gone for nothing, and I don't think Kincaid's a long-term goalie number 2, especially given Igor's slight injury history. You know, we want somebody solid behind him just in case we need it. They looked bad, though. It was another bad game. Kincaid wound up starting. Quinn was back. I thought they would come out kind of on fire. They lost the night before. They had Quinn back. They wanted to play for him. It didn't happen. They were thoroughly outplayed for 40 minutes. You know, they were down, I believe it was 4-0, 3-0 going into the third. Rangers mounted a semi-comeback. They got 4 goals. They wound up losing 5-4. It was just very, very, very flat. The game could have changed from the first period. Mika Zibanejad from beyond the icing line flipped the puck towards the net, hit TJ Oshie in the face, and missed going across the line by about that much. You know, that would have been a 5-5 game if things held the same. Obviously, if and buts and candies and nuts or something like that, you get it. Who knows what that game would have been? Maybe that goal goes in, the Rangers have some momentum, and they win. But they lost, and the haters came out en masse, and again, I'll get to you guys in a minute. We're not getting into it right now. They had few good chances going into the third. They just couldn't convert. Kreider missed on a breakaway. Mika, you know, inches short. Bad shot selections, bad passes. They were starting to get too fancy, trying to be fancy schmancy against the Capitals. Not going to work. They have a really good defense. They're actually a man-to-man defense, which is different in the NHL. It gives it tough looks. You know, you have to make sure you're on your game, and the Rangers didn't take advantage of that. They tried to pass, and passing isn't going to score your goals. You got to shoot the puck. Shoot the puck. Comeback fell short. Was it the DQ effect? It wasn't. Again, we'll save that for a little bit. Let's see. I'm sorry, I have my notes here. A lot to remember. I'm having a great day. As you guys can tell, I got my cast off, so that's awesome. I could do this. I could do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Sorry. After that game, Brendan Lemieux was traded, a.k.a. Pepe Lemieux. People are upset about it, saying we have no grit on this team. We have no one to fight. I don't quite understand that. I think more teams are afraid of going up against Ryan Lindgren than they are going up against Pepe. Lemieux didn't do many fighting. He costly penalties at bad times, nothing to the table offensively, and he was traded. He was being paid, I believe it was 1.5 AAV. You know, that's money that we needed. So we got rid of him, got a 4th round pick from the LA Kings, which is great. I think that's very fair value for what he brings to the table. He may have a great career out in LA, who knows, but he's gone from here. It stinks, it is what it is. I have 2 of his jerseys, now I gotta toss them. Oh well. Let's see. All right, so let's get to last night's game. Huge game. Again, I'm very excited that I didn't do this video last night because I wanted to post this game. For those that follow me on my other social medias, you will know that I actually called the score correctly of the game. I did call it a 5-2 win. I was a little nervous when we started out 2-0 within the first 5 minutes of the game. And again, as soon as that first goal came in, the haters came out saying it was Quinn. It wasn't. We'll get there at the end of this. Offense looks great. Capo Caco looks amazing out there right now. He's flying up and down. I heard yesterday on Blue Shirts Breakaway. Go follow them if you don't listen to them. iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to your podcast. They know what they're talking about. They're great guys. Happen to mention that Caco's shooting percentage is 7% right now, or it was going into the game. He's going to find the mean. He's going to get back to average, and that means he's only going to get better. His stats aren't going to go down, they're going to go up. He's great defensively off the puck. His forecheck is amazing. His back checking is amazing. He always seems to find the puck when he needs to. Philip Hedl is the one that turned that game around. The Rangers were down 2-0, like I said. He took a pass from turnover pass, took a pass, took it on a breakaway, scored 2-1 going into the second. It was good. Second period, we didn't score any goals. Rangers looked like they were starting to control the game a lot better from the Capitals than the first period. In the third period, it finally clicked. We scored 5 unanswered goals, including Hedl's, and they shut down the Capitals at the end of that game. Wilson got dirty, wanted to fight Lindgren. I love that gif for those that haven't seen it. There's a gif of Ryan Lindgren standing by the bench. Ovi's chirping him. He looks at Ovi and just tells him to shut up. Absolutely love this guy. He's definitely going to be my next jersey, and it would not be surprising if he gets a letter within the future. There's no way he doesn't. He's a great teammate. He's got the grit. He's got the strength. He'll hit people. He'll body check. He'll do whatever it has to be done. I'm not worried about losing Lemieux because we have Lindgren. Lindgren, again, he didn't bleed last night, which is surprising. That's probably 1 game out of how many he's played with the Rangers. Actually, last night was his 100th game, so it wouldn't be surprising if it was, his first out of 100. Let's see what else I got. All right, let's get into the crux of it. Everybody claims that Quinn is the reason the Rangers aren't playing well. He hasn't developed anybody. Blah, 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 blah. The defense is playing well, but it's not him. It's Jacques Martin because he's the one that's in charge of the defense. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Look at first person I always forget to talk about, Buchnevich. He was nothing before Quinn came along, and he's having a career year this year. He looks phenomenal. I don't want to lose him. If they do make a trade for anybody, and it's a big player, I have a feeling he's going to be included in the group because we're going to have to pay him. We have a lot of other guys to pay, and he's kind of playing his way out of New York, and it's kind of crappy. I like Chris Kreider a lot. I don't think he was worth the contract they gave him because it's creating a huge logjam. Their top 6 wingers are, their top 2 lines, so top 4 wingers are including Capo Caco, Artemi Panarin, Chris Kreider, and Buchnevich. We still have Vitaly Kravtsov coming, and we have Lafreniere. Where are they going to play? You can't regulate them to the 3rd line. And again, the logjam comes with Kreider's contract, I believe. I also don't like Strome still on the power play unit. I think that should go to Caco or Laf. And whoever is not on the first of those 2 should be on the 2nd power play unit. I don't like Strome on the power play unit. Too many right-handed shots. It's not working as well as it could. I really think Capo Caco belongs on that power play unit. I hope they put him there soon just to see what he's got. Because, getting 20 seconds of power play time a night is not beneficial to these kids. Power play 1 is great, but they're out there way too long. They don't give opportunities to the other guys. I think you're going to start seeing some of the younger guys stepping up. Philip Hedl looks great, like I was mentioning. He's been coming along nicely under Quinn. Caco's light years better than he was last year. Lafreniere's getting his skates under him. Guys, he's 19 years old and hasn't had a full training camp. He didn't even have a preseason. So he literally dove in head first to the NHL, and he's 19 years old. He's got 10 points, 5 goals, 5 assists. He's going to be fine. Let it breathe. Let him develop. The Rangers aren't looking to develop today. They have time. This is still a rebuild. This season is not about wins and losses. This season is about development, and I've seen this team develop from day one. They're playing tighter in one-goal games. Yes, it would be nice for them not to be in a one-goal game, but when they are in a one-goal game, they're doing what they should be doing. They beat the Capitals last week, 2 weeks ago, I guess. They were up 1-0 the whole game, gave up a goal late. Mika Zibanejad with an unbelievable play gets them goal and the win. The game prior to that against the Capitals, they had a 1-goal lead going in a third. Ovechkin scores 2 goals and they lose. They're learning. They have a lot of 1-goal losses, and it's going to be beneficial to them in the future that they're going through these growing pains now. And that's exactly what this is, growing pains. The team is young. Back to the Knoblauch Quinn saga episode, whatever you want to call it. Don't tell me Quinn hasn't developed anyone. And if I say he's developed Adam Fox into the player is, and you say that Adam Fox is going to be this great anyway, then you can't discredit everybody else. Buchnevich wasn't looking like this. Look at Ryan Strome. Ryan Strome was a journeyman until he joined the Rangers. Quinn's got him playing lights out. Mika Zibanejad has best seasons under Quinn. Buch. Panarin's had his best seasons under Quinn. Lindgren's coming along. Look at Keandre Miller. Awesome, awesome player, and he's very young. Quinn knows what he's doing with these guys. He's getting them to learn 200 feet before he lets them learn the offense. That's a reason Kaapo Kakko looks as good as he does right now outside of his offense. He's just got a confidence he'll get there. I have full faith in the kid. Him and Laff are going to be, I hate to use this comparison, but they're going to be Crosby, Malkin-esque. They're not going to be in the same realm as Crosby. Not many players out there are going to be, as much as that hurts to admit, because I hate the guy. He's a great hockey player. He scares me when he touches the puck. Maybe not so much anymore, but he used to. And I think we're going to have that finally with Laff and Kakko. It's going to be great to watch these kids grow up together. And, again, just the whole Quinn hasn't developed is shenanigans. The players aren't playing for Quinn because they don't like him. Shenanigans. Here's my question. Rangers go down 3-0, 4-0 against the Capitals. Didn't do anything for 2 periods the other night. Last period, they come out. They almost tie the game. Should have been a tie game given Mika's millimeter of a goal off. So what is it? Do they not play for him? And then all of a sudden Knoblauch was like, hey, they're not playing with you behind the bench. Maybe we should puppet again. Pretend I'm the one in charge and maybe we'll win. You guys can't have it both ways. They either play hard for Quinn to come back and win like they did the other night, or last night, or they don't play for him. But you can't have it both ways. And for everybody saying fire Quinn and hire someone else, who do you want to hire that hasn't been a retread? There's no one out there that's going to do any better than Quinn right now. I've heard no names. Nobody can ever give a legitimate coach to replace Quinn. And don't give me guys that have been fired already. Again, there's a reason they were fired. If we hire one of them, I know a lot of guys are talking about Claude Julien. We're going to have the same conversation in 2 years with him. People are going to want him out because he's got the same mistake, or different mistakes, but mistakes like Quinn. You need somebody new. There's no up-and-coming head coach. You got to stick with Quinn. Again, this season is not about wins and losses. If they make the playoffs, great. It's a great experience for the kids. It's a great experience for the team. Hopefully they can win a game this time instead of getting swept like last year, but we won't talk about last year. But give the kids time to grow. Everybody hating on Trouba is absolutely asinine. He was not labeled an offensive defenseman by himself. Somebody labeled him that and paid him accordingly. That's not his fault. He's been a solid number 2 defenseman. He's doing what we need to do, letting Keandre Miller grow. That's his job right now, and he's doing it phenomenally. We have 2 almost shut down pairing Ds. When's the last time you heard of that? We have 2 lines fully scoring right now. When's the last time the Rangers had that? The third line's coming along. I love Gautier's play. I love DiGiuseppe's play. I love Rooney's play, and I love Blackwell's play. This is a good problem to have. It is. It really, really is. And they're going to get better because of it. It's mind-blowing that people still think that they aren't playing hard for Quinn for whatever reason. It's not the case. Professional players cannot do that. It's on tape for the rest of their careers. People are going to question why they're not playing hard. Or if they're playing harder for one coach and not the other, why are they doing different things? It doesn't make sense. And it's not going to stop until either Quinn wins the Stanley Cup, and even then people are going to bitch, or until he's fired. So, yeah, I might be beating a dead horse, but you know what? Come at me with some coaches that can replace him. Maybe we can talk about it. I don't think he's a long-term answer, but he's far from the issue with this team. Far, far from that issue. it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let me get into my notes here. I'm going to pause it for 1 second. All right, before we move on to the next point, I want to just point out I believe Ryan Strome, as of last night, has a 10-game point scoring streak where he's got, I want to say it was 2 goals, 8 assists. Adam Fox has an 8-game point streak, and I believe his was 2 goals and 11 assists. Again, bananas. Just absolutely bananas how well he is playing. Again, we don't like to mention a certain number when it comes to defensemen. Maybe he should drop the 3. I know it's not possible, but just saying. Again, he's going to be another defender that's going to have a letter very, very soon. I still can't believe we got him for 2 second-rounders. Thank you, Carolina. He's just been a revelation for this team. Him and Lindgren together are going to be the top Rangers defensemen for years. They're phenomenal together. They play off each other really well. I see Lindgren's offensive game is starting to step up, being on the same line as Fox. His passes are starting to be amazing. He's starting to get down towards the net. He's getting to the dirty areas, and they're letting him grow offensively. And I think that's a really, really exciting thing to see as a Ranger fan. Because if you have 2 defensemen that can play shutdown defense and contribute on offense, you're almost unstoppable. And, Keandre Miller's coming along. He's going to have that offensive game as well. Rangers are in a good position for the future. Speaking of the future, I do have a listener/fan question. This one comes from Avi. Shout out to Avi. He is my PT, my physical therapist. I had knee surgery a couple years ago. Got me back to playing shape, which is how this happened. We'll get to that maybe another time. But Avi asks, where are we in this rebuild? What piece or pieces are we missing to put us in competition for the Cup, including players and or staff? I think that's a phenomenal question that not a lot of Ranger fans really understand. I've seen posts about Vegas being an expansion team and them constantly winning and being in the playoffs, and that our guys over there would do much better. False. Vegas's team was made by backdoor trades that were legal and the NHL wanting them to be competitive immediately. They're not filled with rookies and kids that have 3 or less years experience. The Rangers are in a rebuild whether you want to admit it or not. They're nearing the end of it. I think this season is the last piece, I would say, before we should start seeing them contend. This season and the offseason is going to be huge in the development of this team. Whether they add a couple more pieces like a number 2 center, because I still don't think Strome's the answer, but I also really like Philip Hedel's game. I don't know if going after someone like Jack Eichel is going to be the right play, but he's not going to hurt this team. Think of a line of Mika. Unfortunately, I don't think Booch will be here if we do get him, but it'll be, Mika, Kakko, and Kreider. And then second line, you're going to have Panarin and Loff. Kravtsov will be on the third. I'm sure they'll bounce around. There's so many possibilities with Eichel centering, of course, but there's so many possibilities. I do think we need another center that can win face-offs. We're horrible, seems like, year in and year out on the face-offs. I'm not sure why, but we need to bring some guys in that can win us some face-offs in key zones. It's not always about winning every single face-off like people seem to make it. It depends on where you are. An offensive zone or a defensive zone draw is much more important than a neutral zone. Yes, neutral zone is important, but, if you're on the defensive zone, you want to get that puck out. If you're in the offensive zone, you want to get that puck on net. So situational face-offs matter, but we still need somebody that we can put out there and say, hey, we need this face-off, go get it. I love their set plays off the face-off. Just think if they go win more face-offs, how many more plays they could run. They have so much speed and talent that it's almost impossible to stop them when they actually have a set play from a face-off. Kreider is known to score his goals on that, and he's awesome at doing it. They need to find someone that can get that game going. Big change in last night's game that I saw prior to the previous game, was the Rangers started dumping the puck in and chasing. That's where they're at their best. Use your speed, use your skill, use your tenacity, and get in there, get that puck, get to the dirty areas. When they're doing that, they look unstoppable. They had a 4-0 win against Boston when Boston was rolling, and they played the same way, and they put their defense up to play offense. And they looked great, and they beat them 4-0. Kincaid's first shutout, I believe, in 2 years or 3 years at that point. Insane. They're getting there. And I know I'm repeating myself, but it's just, I'm trying to drive it home that you guys got to give them time. This is a very weird season. Kakko doesn't know anything but COVID. The kid came in, yeah, he had his games, his preseason and all that, but all he knows is COVID hockey. That's all Loff knows is COVID hockey. You guys got to give them time. Give them full full time to acclimate. Again, Loth is 19, Kako's 20, Heedle's 21. Really young guys that we're trying to build around. They're gonna get there. It's coming, guys. I promise. I promise. So as far as Avi's question, where are we in the rebuild? I think this is the last rebuild season. Next year, if these results are the same, I guarantee Quinn's gone. Again, I don't think Quinn is the final answer for the Rangers, but he's here to develop the kids, and that's exactly what he's doing. If he happens to make the playoffs and make a run, he'll be back. If not, we'll see what happens next year. But I really think next year you're going to see this team compete. I think you're going to see the lessons from this year, and even last year's postseason debacle is going to stick with these kids. They're hungry. They don't want to lose. They want to bring the Rangers back to prominence, just like we do. So instead of rooting against, let's root for. Let's hope that these kids learn their lessons. Let's hope the vets are showing them the way. Let's hope we get what we want. And let's hope for no injuries going forward to some of our star players, because that always seems to happen. Y'all can't blame me, I knocked on wood. Next week, we got 2 games against Buffalo, 1 against Pittsburgh. The trade deadline is April 12th. Let's see if any moves are made between now and then. We already started with Lemieux. I've read somewhere that Brendan Smith may be on the block. Brendan Smith, by the way, had the most phenomenal pass last night to Artemi Panarin. If you guys haven't watched it, go watch it. On a dime, cross ice, through the neutral zone, right at the blue line. Panarin took it in. Breakaway, scored. Of course he does, because it's Panarin. Kind of weird with the leg kick he did there. It was a little backwards. I kind of like it, not going to lie. But next week, I definitely see us needing at least 4 points. I really want to make it 6. They need to beat Pittsburgh. They're not looking good against Pittsburgh as of late. I think they only have 1 win against them. Buffalo, we all know is... I'm not going to jinx it. I don't want to say anything. Rangers just... They need to keep playing the game they've been playing. Hopefully we're going to have another good week to review next week. Hopefully some big news has happened. Hopefully Kravtsov gets some time. Guys, again, complaining about Kravtsov not getting time. Quinn said when he came over, Kravtsov came over, he needs a couple practices to get acclimated. They've had 1 practice since he's been here because of COVID restrictions, travel restrictions, things like that. Hasn't even been a couple. Again, I'm getting this from the podcast I listen to, and I can't remember your guys' name for the life of me right now. Why am I drawing a blank? Blue Shirts Breakaway. Sorry, guys. Shout out Blue Shirts Breakaway, Blue Shirts, BSB. They are great. I forgot where I was going with that. I'm a little hyped up. I'm a little excited. Let's go, Rangers. We need points. We need wins. Let's make a push. Whether we make the playoffs or not, again, isn't what we're looking for this season, but it would be nice as Ranger fans to be able to watch hockey continuously through the playoffs. If they can't make it, let's knock someone else out. Let's do something good. Let's make this season a winning season. Not necessarily, again, wins and losses, but a good season to build off of for next year. We'll be back next week. Might be a little bit different. I, unfortunately, am going back to work. It's been a nice, 6 weeks with the pain and cast and all that. So we're going to try some different things. We're going to have more content coming out. Since the cast is off, I'm going to actually start doing a blog, so be on the lookout for that. Check out my shorts page on YouTube, youtube.com. Search BroadwayBlueBleeder Shorts. I also have a TikTok and Instagram. You can find me on Twitter. My Twitter name there is Moorhead_DT. Or you can go to the website and find everything there. We have a website, BroadwayBlueBleeder.com. We're going to get more content up there. We're going to have a newsletter coming out, some email signups, maybe some merchandise at some point. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. My wife's probably going to kill me for saying that, but you never know. I really, really appreciate all of your guys' love and support. I'm getting, many texts, many messages. A lot of you guys are interacting with my stuff. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Please, please, please keep it up. I love doing this for myself, and I love doing this for the Ranger fans. Whether you agree with me or not, this is something I really love to do, and you guys are letting me do it and helping me through it, and I appreciate you guys so, so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about me, whether you love me or hate me. Let me know in the comments. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hopefully some different content will be coming out. I think you guys are going to like it. Broadway Blue Bleeder signing off.